just before the game, I'll write down exactly the things I need to know out in the field. Writing down the same things most weeks. The first thing I put was start again and get involved early. The next point I have is work rate. So a big part of my game is having a crack at their ball. You know, so whether it's your feet or your hands in there, you get in there and you try and slow it up best you can, legally. And the other one's always thinking about get up and go and change gear. So that's sort of how I'm going to play, and then I always have one calm, clear and decisive. So it's obviously as a captain, you want to be calm, be clear about what we're doing, and be really decisive, so don't sort of be wishy-washy. And presence. So rather than head down, you're up and you're big. So it's a physical but also a mental presence, you know, like where your eyes are, how you talk to the ref, how you engage with your mates. That has a real mental presence. And then the last couple is just play and enjoy.
You simply can't have a positive life with a negative mindset, because even if you have a lot of experiences that are objectively positive, like a good relationship with your girlfriend or wife, or your kids, or your friends or your family, even if you have these things that are good in your life, if you have a negative mindset, you won't see the good in them. Even if you have a great job and amazing opportunities economically, you won't see them that way. You'll see the negative side of them, and they won't feel like the positives that they should feel like for you. And even if you have amazing experiences like staying in amazing locations, eating incredible food, or going on adventures, you will simply not enjoy them because you have a negative mindset and a negative outlook. Today we're going to talk about the number one method for changing a negative mindset into a positive mindset by high achievers worldwide for centuries. From Marcus Aurelius in ancient Rome to the ancient Greeks and Egyptians, all the way to present day sports stars, celebrities, politicians, and the most famous people on earth today, they use one simple method that dramatically improves their life, their mindset, and their ability to do hard things. Personally, I've used this incredibly simple but extremely effective habit to do extremely difficult things where I had many self-doubts and negative thoughts about my ability to achieve them. From sports coaching at a very young age back in Ireland, to running 7 ultra marathons, to doing bodybuilding shows, to building my own business, to traveling through the world solo. I've had to deal with massive doubts and massive negativity inside my own mind and get past it to have all these positive experiences. And I've used the simple method of journaling and gratitude journaling to help me achieve all of these things and to have a positive mindset and a positive outlook on my ability to achieve difficult things. I've also bought the 5-minute journal for well over 50 people now at this stage. One Christmas, I gave it out to 40 clients there a couple of years ago. I've bought about 10 Spanish copies for my Spanish friends. I've given it to friends, family members, clients, and I personally believe it's the most life-changing gift that I could possibly give to anyone, providing they use it properly. And today I'm going to teach you how to use it properly and why it's so important. So the specific gratitude journal that I'm talking about in this video comes from Tim Ferriss, and I was a listener of the Tim Ferriss show from the very early days. And I remember one of the many things he was famous for, along with the morning routines, was talking about gratitude journaling. And some other of his listeners in those early days, when he was one of the first podcasters to go very big, they listened to him talk about journals, and they made their own journal called the 5-minute journal based on the prompts that he talked about in the Tim Ferriss show. And so the 5-minute journal was born, this company called Intelligent Change. And these are the ones that I've always used. Gratitude journal is far more than wishy-washy positive self-talk or Tony Robbins type you can do it self-talk, motivational self-talk. It's proven in science to dramatically change the way your brain operates on a day-to-day level in all your decision making and your thoughts, which affect your stress levels, your mindset, and your ability to implement positive habits that are going to have a positive effect on your life in the short term and the long term. So the simplest way I can possibly explain to you about how a gratitude journal works or why it's so effective is taken control of something called automatic negative thoughts, or unconscious or automatic habits. So you have a habit of thinking negatively in many ways throughout your day that leads you to have a lower quality life, a lower level of happiness, and a lower likelihood of achieving your goals or sticking at positive habits that are going to lead to the achievement of your goals long term. So gratitude journal is going to change your mindset in a way that makes it far more likely for you to implement these positive habits that are going to have this transformative effect on your lifestyle. So if we can think about two fields, and we have two fields that haven't been cut, the grass hasn't been cut for a long time. You walk through this field, and on one path, it's very, very well worn. It's the path that everyone uses. So that just goes straight to the negative thought, and it's very easy to walk on this path. That's your brain coming from a negative, automatic negative thought, and it goes straight to the negative, straight to what's going wrong in your life, what's going bad in your life. And there is a path to the positive thought inside your brain, but it's not very well worn and it's hard to get to. So anytime you're under pressure, you're stressed, your brain just shoots straight to the easy path to the negative thought instead of the slightly trickier, more positive thought. Now, this is a simple way of explaining it, but this has been shown to be exactly how your brain works. So your brain can start taking the route towards the positive thought, but it's going to take a lot of practice, and it's going to take you surrounding yourself with the right people and doing the right thing until this path becomes very, very strong and you automatically become a far more positive person. Whether the negative thought, the more often you use the positive thought, is going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. So it's not about eliminating negative thoughts completely, because that's not realistic. And to be honest, eliminating negative thoughts completely isn't a good thing. You don't want to be delusionally optimistic, not all the time anyways, because you want to be aware of certain dangers. You want to be aware of maybe making a fool of yourself or losing all your money or doing something dangerous or stupid. So having some doubts and negativity is completely healthy. And even the best sports stars in the world talk about controlling their negative thoughts. From Michael Phelps to Tom Brady to Ronaldo, everybody has negative thoughts or some negative thoughts. The problem is when they start interfering with your ability to take action on the things that are going to transform your life. There are many things that you can do that will help you have increased present state awareness and be more positive and make more positive decisions based out of love and anticipation and excitement about building a better future versus fear of negativity, your reptile brain going straight to the negative and keeping your world small and closed and in a state of fear and safety. But in my opinion, gratitude journaling is the most powerful, simple and effective way to do it, and I've used it very effectively with myself, with clients, and every sports star or famous person just about imaginable has used an approach of journaling. So if you open up your 5-minute journal, now you don't need to buy the journal, you can just simply do this on a blank page yourself, but if you open up a 5-minute journal, the first thing you're going to see is a quote at the top. So if you think about starting your day every day, not by looking at the phone or listening to the radio or watching the news, where somebody's going to throw some negativity or something like you're going to react negatively to straight at you like it's your problem to start the day, you start the day with a positive quote or someone who with a positive outlook on a difficult situation. A lot of the quotes in the 5-minute journal are absolutely excellent. I love them. And I love a good quote. And you'll see many, many famous people who, you know, they're sitting on podcasts these days in the last few years, but whether they're writing their own books or appearing on TV shows or wherever you might come across famous sports stars, they'll always have a few quotes that they absolutely love. So the great thing about the 5-minute journal is right there at the start of the day, instead of reacting to something negative that's going to bring you towards the negative mindset like the news. The next thing that you're faced with is you take a biro in your hand and you write down a list of 3 things that you're grateful for. Now, Going straight to the positive at the start of the day and talking about things that you're really grateful for in your life is a crucial habit, and it's one that I've developed through gratitude journaling that's completely transformed my life. Now, the comparison, to go to the negative thought, would be instead of writing things that you're grateful for, you would think about things unconsciously and automatically that you don't have, or that someone has. Maybe someone has a better car, better clothes, better lifestyle, and you're just, comparison is the thief of joy. You miss out on all the amazing things in your life that you're extremely grateful for, and go straight to comparison and feel bad about yourself and feel bad about your life. So the things that I like to write about the most when I'm grateful is my girlfriend, my family, my friends, and my support network. My network of mentors and the people who've always been very kind and supportive to me. You know, I could talk about people who are the opposite, but I'm trying to focus on what I'm grateful for early in the day and have that positive outlook. I write about the food, I write about the gyms I train at, because eating and training is two of the highlights of my life every single day. The simple things I'm grateful for, my cup of coffee, and then of course where I live. And those will be the things that I write in my gratitude list the most. So it can be very, very simple things, but you're just reiterating to the universe, to God, to whatever you want to call it, how grateful you are for the blessings in your life. And that's completely rewiring your conscious and your expression as a human. The next thing in the 5-minute journal that you write down early in the day in the morning is something we all battle with, is productivity or our to-do list. So instead of reacting negatively to something like, oh no, I have so much to do today, or oh no, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what I'm going to do, where will I start, and being like a headless chicken at the start of the day with your mind running around the place, you don't start the day by thinking about all the obstacles and inconveniences in your day. You start the day by making what would make today great. You write 3 simple things that if you achieved them would make today great. Now, for me, most of the time this is very simple things. It might be making a post or a YouTube video like this one. It might be going to the gym, might be dealing with 10 client calls or 15 client calls, and I'll write about those things that would make my day successful. And when you write about 3 things that you need to get done every day, you'll quickly find out that a few simple tasks done every single day, like reading 10 pages of a book or making sure that you stick to your stretching routine, can be enough to have a great day, or at least put you on the right track to have a great day, to have you focusing on things that are going to improve your life and improve your day, rather than reacting to the negative straight away and being worried about obstacles. And then the final thing that you write down in the morning, which only takes a few minutes, hence the name 5-minute journal, 3 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night, is a positive affirmation. Now, it's crucial with the positive affirmation, and these are very, very well documented and well studied. You'll see a lot of successful people talking about affirmations they've used for things to become true, to help achieve big goals. I've had some affirmations, and it's scary how far I was away from these things coming true to them coming reality in my life. It's unbelievable. I was reading through some of my old journals, my old 5-minute journals that I started back in 2018 today, and I felt very emotional because I have achieved so much and so much further than what I thought back then was possible. But through your positive affirmation, I like to write down a very big goal and talk about it like it's already achieved. So let's say for my ultra marathon across Ireland, I ran 270 kilometers, the width of the country, and I would talk about I have achieved it. Not I will do it, or I hope to do it, or I should do it. I have ran 270 kilometers across Ireland. And by writing that as if it's already been achieved, I'm already filling myself up with the feeling of, wow, that's going to feel amazing. It's going to feel unbelievable. And then going about your day and training for that to become a reality is far more inspiring. Now, I wouldn't be telling the world your positive affirmations, not at all. I'm not a fan of that, and that's actually well studied to be a negative thing. But I would be writing down sometimes 10 and 20 times on a piece of paper outside the 5-minute journal things that I'm very determined to make happen. Even if in that moment I haven't a fucking clue how I'm going to make it happen, I just write it down like it's already happened. So running the width of Ireland, building my business up to a certain level, traveling to a certain place. All these things I'll write down as if they've already happened. And the negative alternative to that would be a negative self-fulfilling prophecy. So a lot of people get stuck in, those ANTs, those automatic negative thoughts in terms of affirmation. So they'll tell themselves, I'm a very unlucky person. Why does this always happen to me? Why do bad things always happen to me? And they're literally putting it out there to the universe, to God, to whatever they believe in. They're putting it out there constantly that bad things are going to happen.
Your attitude has a giant effect, not just on your life, but on other people's lives around you. That's the other thing about it. Those I can't catch a break guys,
Yeah.
get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't buy it. Because everybody has bad breaks.
Yes.
I've had a shit ton of bad breaks. But you know what I did? I stayed up.
Yeah.
And I thought through it. And I figured out what the fuck I did wrong. It's just little challenges. And the people that look at those challenges and go, why do I always have these challenges? They're cancer. Those people are dangerous to be around. They will rob you of your enthusiasm. They don't give you any fuel. They're the opposite of fuel.
And I've seen this over and over again, and I've tried and tried to help certain people change their mindset, but you can't change everyone, and nor should you try and change everyone. What you really want to do is focus on changing yourself, and that will help inspire change in others. Focus on changing yourself more than anyone. Don't think about this 5-minute journal and say, I need to give that to someone. If you want to give it to someone, great, but the most important thing you can do if you're trying to change anybody else is change yourself. So if you have negative self-fulfilling prophecies, this is a great way. A positive affirmation about something exciting to look forward to is an amazing way to change that negative self-talk. And finally, at the second half of the day, you're making this deposit into your subconscious mind of 3 highlights, 3 of the good things that you can see happen today that you were very happy. So you might have had a great gym session, you might have had a positive day at work, you might have had a beautiful walk with your girlfriend, you might have got a nice phone call from your family member or your friends. These are all things that I got today, which were just amazing. And really, I never wanted to become at a stage where I take these things for granted. These are unbelievable blessings. My good health, my people that I have around me, my experiences like going to the gym, simple ones that I have every day. So instead of focusing on complaints, those ANTs again, I'm going straight to what went wrong about the day or went bad about the day, because things did go wrong for me today and things did go bad for me. I'm always focusing on the highlights, the 3 main things. You're writing them down on paper and you're being clear that, okay, good things do happen to me every day, even on my bad days, even on my worst days. And the final thing, which I think is easily one of the most powerful parts of the 5-minute journal, is the learnings or lessons of the day. What did you learn today? Being a lifelong learner is a crucial skill. As Charles Poliquin used to say, learners are leaders, and the more you learn, the more you earn. It's unbelievable when you grow older and you finish school, you finish university, how many people have just shut off their minds to learning new things. So they listen to the news and they listen to gossip and they listen to negativity and all these useless bits of information. But when it comes to information that actually improves the quality of their life and the quality of relationships, they just will not learn it. They won't learn about psychology, biology, nutrition, training, different cultures, different mindsets from different types of people. They'll just close their mind off from being curious in any way. So their learnings and their lessons that they get every day just go to zero, and they don't grow and they don't develop new experiences or new relationships. So writing down one new thing that you learned every single day is going to inspire you to read more, to learn more, to watch more positive documentaries and maybe online courses instead of just being a consumer of loads of useless information and propaganda that's there to just distract you from improving your life. So for many of you watching this video, this is your introduction to journaling, to gratitude journaling, and the power of gratitude to completely transform your life. Gratitude journaling has completely transformed my life to the point where almost every single person I meet now talks to me and asks me, how are you so positive? How did you get in such good shape? How did you build your business? And they're always asking how I've changed my life in such a positive way that I love my day-to-day living. I love the experiences I have. I love the people I get to work with. I love my family and friends group so much that they're always asking me, how did you get in such a good situation? And to be honest, the number one thing I would get people to do is eat healthy, start training in the gym, lifting weights of some kind, and gratitude journaling. Those are the top 3 things. If you want to transform your life, I would begin with these. So I've got it for a gift for many people, and I've talked to many people about it, for some of my best friends and the people I love the most in my life. I strongly recommend you to buy a 5-minute journal and commit to journaling for 6 months and completely transform your mindset and the way you look at achieving your goals and having that life and those experiences that you've always dreamed of. Let's go.